From prestigious and towering hotels whose colorful halls purportedly hold restless spirits resulting from brutal murders long past, to resort villas where it's said ghosts and much more sinister things roam after dark. Are you ready for the most haunted casinos on the Strip? Number 5. Caesar's Palace. Located off South Las Vegas Boulevard, Caesar's Palace is a Roman-themed casino and resort that sits between the Bellagio and Mirage, that's recognized as one of the largest and most prestigious landmark locations of the Strip. Historically, the structure was created in 1966 by Jay Sarno and Stanley Malkin in an effort to give guests a feel of what life was like during the Roman Empire. In 1974, the original Roman Tower was extended, and in 1979, the Forum Tower was opened up to guests. In 1992, a 636,000 square foot mall dubbed the Forum Shops at Caesars was opened as one of the first high-end shopping venues around. In 2016, major renovations of the hotel's exterior were completed, and in 2017, ownership of Caesar's Palace was transferred to Vici Properties, though they're now renting it back to Caesars Entertainment. Caesar's Palace remains open to this day, offering more than 3,000 rooms, 6 towers, a range of table games, a 24-hour poker room, and, as ghost story upon ghost story has it, a slew of chilling hauntings, with both staff and guests reporting objects sighted moving on their own, doors opening and closing by themselves, and extreme cold spots. One craps table on site is said to be cursed, haunted, or something else entirely, after it paid out consistent winnings for 13 months straight, and the building's faucets and fountains have a habit of turning on off of schedule when no one is even close enough to activate them. Lastly, several informal investigations of the property have yielded creepy EVPs, high EMF levels, and even photographic evidence of entities clad in old-fashioned attire. Number 4. The Bellagio. Located off South Las Vegas Boulevard, just south of Caesar's Palace and north of the Cosmopolitan, the Bellagio is a luxury hotel and casino that takes its inspiration from the town of Bellagio, off of Lake Como in Italy. This local hotspot is recognized for its impressive 8-acre man-made mirror of said lake, which features the casino's renowned fountains. Historically, this site played home to the 10th resort to hit the Strip, the Dunes Hotel, which was constructed in 1955 and would operate until 1993. Following the demolition of the dunes, construction of the Bellagio was started in 1996, with the facility opening to the public in 1998. In the year 2000, it would be absorbed as an MGM Mirage property, and in 2010, the company would take on a new moniker, that of MGM Resorts International, in a corporate move to cross the globe. In 2019, MGM would sell a majority of the Bellagio to the Blackstone Group, though MGM still continues to manage operations into the present. The Bellagio remains open to this day and offers a range of attractions, dining and drink options, and, according to legend, its fair share of paranormal infestations, with both staff and guests reporting extreme cold spots, the disembodied voices of a crowd heard emanating from empty areas, and even full-bodied apparitions that manifest right through solid walls. One story tells that a maintenance man named Artur drowned while working on the casino's fountain, after which strange bite marks were discovered across his corpse. And in 2020, a homeless man perished while attempting to swim across the watery expanse. Lastly, and reported across the property by many, are shadowy figures that stalk the living, inexplicable lights that float the halls, and a feeling of dread experienced by those walking the lake's edge. Number 3. The Excalibur. Located along South Las Vegas Boulevard, just north of the Luxor and south of New York, New York, the Excalibur is a lively hotel and casino that derives its theme and title from the mythical sword of King Arthur, and it's widely recognized as much for its formidable castle-like design as it is for its friendly, family-oriented atmosphere. Historically, on-site, construction of the 23-story Xanadu Resort was approved in 1976, though plans fell through, and in 1990 the Excalibur would open in its stead as quite literally the largest hotel in the world. A massive themed resort combining elements of the traditional Vegas experience with something new entirely, and welcoming to families and younger crowds. In 2005, the casino was purchased by MGM Resorts International, who would set to work on a slew of modernizations and renovations, while removing a good chunk of the property's original medieval decor. In 2016, the X was labeled the 7th largest hotel in Vegas and the 11th largest in the world based on its total rooms. It remains open into the present, offering sprawling casino spaces, pool areas, a spa and fitness center, several dining options, lounges, an arcade, a chapel, and, if the song staff and guests are singing is true, an assortment of resident ghosts, with reports detailing furniture found moved overnight and within locked rooms, disembodied voices and whispering heard emanating from thin air, and extreme cold spots. The 10th floor is rumored to be the most active area, and those who have braved it have described a constant eerie chill, mysterious phone calls in the middle of the night, and televisions, showers, and sinks found turned on in the morning. Lastly, many have reported instances of lights turning on and off by themselves, of personal possessions disappearing and being found later in odd places, and of the unnerving sensation of breath felt on the back of the neck. Number 2. Circus. Located on the northern end of South Las Vegas Boulevard, Circus is a family-friendly hotel and casino that's recognized for playing home to the largest permanent circus not just in Vegas, not just in the US, but in the whole of the world. Historically, this site was first opened in 1968, featuring a casino on its ground floor and carnival games on its second, and was actually the first family-oriented establishment of its type in town. Due to its lack of a hotel, the casino would suffer for a time, but in 1972, a 15-story tower boasting 409 rooms was installed. In 1974, the property would come under new management, and a year later, in 75, an additional 15-story tower was installed, followed closely by an RV park in 1979. The property was expanded several more times through the 1980s and 90s, and in 2019 it was sold to one Phil Ruffin, who retains ownership to this day. Circus remains open into the present, offering its legendary RV park, a multitude of circus and carnival attractions, a 5-acre amusement park called Adventure Dome, and, according to both staff and guests, a range of terrifying supernatural activity, with reports entailing shadowy figures sighted roaming about, the sounds of children's footsteps heard running down empty halls, and the words "help me" discovered in fogged bathroom mirrors, or even heard screamed from empty rooms. Some popular local stories tell that a couple was found stabbed to death in an undisclosed room in what was apparently a robbery gone wrong, and the main kitchen is said to have acted as stage to a series of brutal slayings. Those who have braved either of these areas have described shadowy figures that slink in the corners of rooms, doors that slam violently by themselves, and the constant feeling of being watched. Lastly, one legend tells that long ago, a mother killed her son and then herself within room 123, and that both of their spirits remain, along with another apparition dubbed Robert, who is suspected to be the boy's father. Number 1. The Mirage. Located off of South Las Vegas Boulevard, just north of Caesar's Palace and south of Treasure Island, the Mirage is a Polynesian-themed resort and casino set overlooking its iconic erupting volcano that features an indoor saltwater aquarium as well as a dolphin habitat. Historically, the property played home to the San Suchi Auto Court, an early motel that opened sometime through the 1930s, and that would later through the 1950s develop into the San Suchi Hotel. In 1963, the site was purchased by one Ike P. LaRue Jr., who would rename his new business as Castaways Casino. Castaways would remain open until 1987, when plans for a larger, more modernized resort called for its demolition. The Mirage first opened its doors in 1981 as the largest hotel in the world, and also as the first new resort to be constructed on the Strip in over 16 years. In the year 2000, MGM Resorts International would purchase the property, and in 2015, they would announce that the Mirage, along with several other properties, would be placed into a real estate investment trust. The Mirage remains open to this day, is managed by MGM, and offers Siegfried and Roy's secret garden and dolphin habitat, an enormous aquarium, Cirque du Soleil performances, a full nightclub, and more. Over its existence, at least one construction worker perished when a wall collapsed on top of him, and later, a repairman took his own life by way of jumping from the structure's rooftop. These tragedies, coupled with other deaths on and around the property, are said to have left a lasting paranormal scar, with staff and guests reporting disembodied footsteps from empty halls, the feeling of being brushed up against by presences unseen, and encounters with full-bodied apparitions in clothing spanning the eras. Several informal investigations of the premises have yielded high EMF levels, disturbing EVPs, and inexplicable temperature fluctuations. And more chilling stories tell of something evil that lurks on the 13th floor. Lastly, and reported across the property, are instances of personal items going missing, knocking and scratching sounds heard from within the walls, and an unnerving feeling experienced by guests, usually in the middle of the night, that someone or something is standing in their room, just beyond the darkness. Taking into account its fascinating history and coupling it with an impressive grouping of urban legends, purported hauntings, and ghost stories, we felt the Mirage was a safe bet as the most haunted casino on the Strip. Thanks for tuning in for our list of picks for some of the most haunted casinos on the Strip. If you enjoyed hearing our histories and ghost stories, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn notifications on. Throw us a like, and most importantly, share us with anyone you feel could use a good scare. We'll catch you all next time.